Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and we're keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation on today's conversation. Newsnation starting to look like it's turning into Fox News 2.0, and I'll explain why later on in the program. But Newsnation is a newer news cable network promoting balanced news, bipartisan news, a news that you can easily show that it does not choose a political side. I would say I'm an avid, I watch Newsnation pretty regularly. I mean, I'm a news buff in general, so I watch a lot, but I watch it, pretty fairly the way I watch other platforms. So, ever since it started, it started from the ground up. It started as just a channel that was, I believe, WGN. It was owned by Nexstar, WGN, and then it went on to now gross into a 24-hour news network. And so, they've been getting criticized lately, and I'll explain why, like I mentioned later. Also, fight almost erupts at the Capitol during one of the hearings. We'll talk about that later on in the show. More on the feud between journalist Don Lemon and award-winning artist Nicki Minaj. That's getting quite juicy. What else do we got? NFL great Michael Vick, NFL great turned college head football coach, has a new reality show coming out on BET. We'll talk about that later on, as well as a lawsuit happening in my home city of Chesapeake, Virginia. So we're going to talk about that later on the show, and so much more. If we have time to, we're going to try and discuss a little bit of everything, y'all. But before we move forward with stuff, as always, I have to thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you so much for your support, y'all. We could not make this happen without your support. We cannot continue the show without your support. So again, I truly thank you. My hat goes off to all the longstanding supporters and listeners of this program. We are a grassroots program as well, and continue to grow each and every day with some new things. Hopefully, you are enjoying them. And like I said, we just want you to continue to support the great conversation. One thing about this show, we want to keep you guys up to speed as what's happening in our world, whether it's on a local, statewide, or just national, sports news, entertainment news, politics. We talk a little bit about everything, as well as bring in great folks from all different sides of the political aisle, as well as just all walks of life. So we want to continue to spread great conversation, because we're not getting that I feel like we're just not getting that in general. So again, I want to thank y'all for your continued support. For those who are watching us, do me a favor, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel if you have not subscribed to the channel yet. If you already, if you know how everything goes, then you're probably already a subscriber, but it's okay. Share with the friends, share with family. I truly appreciate it. For those who are listening to us by way of podcasts, if you are just an avid listener and follow us through, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, we appreciate it. We love it, but we will also love for you to help build up our YouTube channel, so you can put a face to it. You can put a face to it. In addition to that, you can also watch us on the GOATverse TV app. That's right, the GOATverse TV app. Download it today. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. And you can also listen to us on the radio airwaves, my friend. That's right. We're on a couple of affiliates. Currently WBOK 1230 AM out in New Orleans, and also WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk in the Metro Atlanta area. We drop new episodes Monday through Fridays on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As far as for WBOK, we air Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time, and then on WDJY we air Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So remember those times, please. Truly appreciate it. Okay, what else we got going on, man? What else we got going on? I think that is about it. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. I am exhausted, not gonna lie. I serve on a board of a foundation, and we meet in person twice a year. We usually do follow-ups through Zoom, because we're all not the majority of the board members are not local. We all live in separate states and cities, and so it's always great to see them in person. We always have a great time. But when we meet in person, it's an all-day thing, y'all, from morning to evening, and it is when you're finished, you're just like drained, because you go through so much information. So I'm like, okay, gotta make it for the show. So hopefully I can stay up, awake. Hopefully I can stay awake. But yeah, so much stuff to discuss, man. So much stuff to go over. This is random, but I started to, and this might be a debate for later on in the coming shows. What is your go-to chicken wing flavor, wing flavor? Because I'm starting to realize, I feel like when I was a kid, buffalo was all day, every day. Oh, let me get some buffalo wings. Let me get some buffalo wings. Let me get some buffalo wings. Now it's I feel like lemon pepper is starting to be that new wing flavor. Is it just me? Am I wrong for that? Is it like folks love seasoned more than saucy wings? Like a good dry rub, little seasoned wing instead of a wet saucy wing. I don't know. It just had me thinking. First of all, I can eat wings every day. I don't know about y'all. I can eat wings every day. I can eat wings every day, and I can eat red meat every day. So steak all day and wings every day. I believe I have what it takes, ladies and gentlemen, to compete in a wing eating competition. Oh yes. I truly do believe that. Okay. Every time I get motivated when I watch a eating competition. If I'm watching the Nathan's hot dog eating competition. First of all, it's disgusting to look at, because they're dipping the bread in the water, and then all it just looks disgusting. But if I watch something like that, you get to wondering could I ever? Well, what's your favorite meal? Or what's your favorite? It could be sweets. It can be it could be chicken wings, whatever. And I'm like, what can I compete in? I love chocolate chip cookies. I love chicken wings. But I don't think I could, cookies eventually get heavy, but chicken wings, I could just I can go ham on chicken wings, y'all. Whole chicken wings, regular chicken wing, drums and flats. Yeah, I can go ham on that. Okay, let me not keep you up too long. We got a lot to go over in this show. Let's go ahead and we're gonna take a quick breather. Do not go anywhere. Do not change that dial, my friends. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're going to bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. As I mentioned earlier, fight, a brawl, literally a MMA live fight almost occurred at the Capitol not too long ago. So during the Jack Smith hearing, former police officer Michael Fanone, former Capitol police officer Michael Fanone, who is currently he's no longer an officer, but he has since grown as a star in the, I'll say, the left media, the left, the left, and you can almost say progressive, but I would say, again, just more, more farther left leaning. You have now seen a new star is born. I mean, he has his friends are Rosie O'Donnell, Jim Acosta, Don Lemon, I mean, every star on the left loves them some Michael Fanone. And look, let's be honest. I mean, he is a well-respected individual because he was one of the officers who stood up, who protected the legislators and those at the Capitol during the January 6th riot. It was a horrific moment where, again, he has not been an officer ever since. He's been more advocating for certain laws being passed and continuing to have to share his moment, his story about that. And it's a lot, but he has his own, I think he has his own podcast now. Like I said, he's growing a new career now in the liberal space. Another officer, I'm blanking out on his name, but I believe he made a bid to try and run for office, right, at one point. Anyway, Michael Fanone and a 2020 election denier literally it gets close. It almost comes to blows until they had to hold back Michael Fanone, because he's no guy to back down from a fight. He's always, you see him having arguments with the leader of the Proud Boys, which I wish they would have just let him loose and just let him brawl. But in my opinion, I'm not an advocate for violence, but people are all talk until one of them get, popped in the mouth. I'm just saying, like, let's just be honest. They do a lot of talking until they realize, I don't mess with the wrong one now. I mean, again, that's why they make, they posted FAFO. Y'all know what that stands for, FAFO. Y'all can, I'm not going to go into detail with that, but let me go ahead and play you the soundbite. This is a clip of what had went down during the, I believe it was after the Jack Smith hearing. Check this clip out, y'all.
Members of the audience, members of the audience will please sit down or remove themselves from the committee room.
Rape my children, you sick. Rape my children. It
Every single time I communicate with you, I am always professional with you.
Well, I'm not.
Other people continue to Tourette's syndrome. Okay?
I'll have her treated this.
Why are you so bad, Mom?
I'm spent.
Absolutely. Look behind you. Look at me. Total control over my mind and body.
Hey, the committee will be in order.
Mr. Chairman, will you?
No shame.
It will be in order.
Treating these people that way.
This guy is threatening my family.
Members of the audience,
Children.
members of the audience will please sit down or remove themselves from the committee room.
Rape my children, you sick. Rape my children.
I mean, it was getting intense, y'all. It was getting intense. I don't know if y'all saw that, but it was getting intense. Okay, so check this out. As the gentleman that Fanone, the former DC Metropolitan Police officer, who he was about to come to blows with, was a man by the name of Ivan Racklin. Okay, a conservative activist and conspiracy theorist who frequently appears on Capitol Hill to protest the outcome of the 2020 election. Really, y'all? We still talking about that in 2026? We are still talking about 2020 election wasn't real. It wasn't real. Biden didn't really win the election. It was Trump. It was fake. Like, really? Like, bro, what like, I don't get it. But now, again, in my opinion, to me, that's a Trump derangement syndrome. That's something deranged going on with that guy. Obviously, the video y'all watch shows for Fanone and Racklin facing off during the short break in the Smith's testimony as other former police officers in attendance tried to pull Fanone back. Now, Racklin says to Fanone, "See how many people are restraining you, and look at me, totally in control of my mind and body." Wow. Another former Capitol Police officer who served on January 6th, Harry Dunn, that's the gentleman I believe who tried to run for office, tries to pull Fanone away, and uniform officer stepped in between the two. Fanone goes on to say, "This guy has threatened my family, threatened my children, threatened to rape my children," and he then repeats by calling him a sick what. Let's see here. In response to the clash, more U.S. Capitol police officers were called to the hearing to keep the peace, obviously, some of whom spoke with Racklin. A short time later, Racklin left the hearing room, though it's unclear if he was ordered to do so or if he left on his own accord. Later in the hearing, Fanone coughed into his hands and appeared to say, "Go F yourself," to Representative Troy Nehls, Republican out of Texas. Nehls, addressing the former officers in a room, blamed Capitol Police leadership for the events of January 6th, not President Donald Trump. I'll be damned. And let me tell you something, y'all. A blind person can see that who started that January 6th riot. Because here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. You have to have a person with the loudest phone that has everyone's undivided attention to tell them exactly what to do. Okay. And we all know those diehard MAGA supporters, they would do anything for whatever Daddy Trump tells them to do. Okay. And so to say that, oh, it's a lot more to it. I mean, it just, what kills me is people that always try to say, oh, it was a fixed job. It was some inside help. That is the reason why folks came in there. I'm sorry. Last time I checked, I saw people breaking down windows, going through the windows. You're telling me because law enforcement was short-staffed, because let's just be honest, how many times do people actually storm the Capitol and try to enter to find people of Congress that want to actually attack them? And look, by a show of hands, it probably is a number of them. But they normally they have the capacity. It's normally it's not groups. It's not thousands and thousands of people. Okay, peaceful protesters might go to the steps or outside steps and they protest, peaceful protest. That's how it goes. But at the end of the day, guess what? Folks forced themselves in there. They forced themselves into Nancy Pelosi's office. They forced themselves into the chambers. They forced themselves to take items and all this other junk. I mean, they injured law enforcement officers. They damaged government property. Yet, majority of them were pardoned. By who? Who might you ask? Yes, Donald Trump. They were pardoned by him. I go back to hearing about when Fanon said go F yourself. Yes, immature, childish. You can share your thoughts on your own platform. You have to do it in, during a hearing. But I understand his frustration, right? Because he's like, bro, I was doing my job. To say that the event happened because of leadership is insane. It's insane. It still happened, y'all. It still happened. So because okay, leadership is the whole reason why this event happened. The whole reason. Who was all those people initially going to see? Who were they planning on seeing? And they did. They went there to see Donald Trump. All those folks that stormed the Capitol, they were there to see one person only. Okay? They went there saying, hang Mike Pence. What kind of crowd is that? That's not a peaceful protest. Does that sound like a peaceful protest to you? Didn't think so. It says that Rackland was not the only figure connected to the January 6th conspiracy in attendance. Oath Keeper Stuart Rhodes was also at the hearing. Rhodes was convicted of seditious conspiracy and sentenced to 18 years in prison for his actions connected to January 6th, but Trump commuted his sentence as one of the first actions after being inaugurated last January. Now, Jack Smith, who was a special counsel, led probes into Trump for efforts to overturn the 2020 election and mishandling of classified documents, was testifying publicly before a House Judicial Committee. In both cases against Trump were dropped when the president returned to power. My friends, again, we're going to continue to see more of this because folks are fed the freak up. Okay, they're fed up. And someone like Michael Fanon, who, again, being an officer, he has, and I think he's spoken about it publicly, he has PTSD from that event. There's so many officers that event led to so much trauma. Okay, they lost some of their fellow brothers in law enforcement because of that event. It was a horrific event. It was. So, me personally, I would have loved to see them. Okay, let them fight. Let them fight. Let's come on. We want to see it. We want to see it. Come on, we want to see it. But it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate of the terrible events happening in the area. What else I got on the chopping block for y'all? Let's go ahead and stay into some politics because I'm already there. Why not stop? Let's continue, shall we? So, Newsnation. Now, I happen to be a Newsnation watcher. I enjoy it. I really do. I think my gravitation to the channel was that I enjoy reading The Hill, and I remember I watching Rising and shows like that on The Hill. I've always enjoyed it. And on top of that, Newsnation is a newer news cable network. You get tired of watching your Fox News, your CNN, your MSNBC now, MS Now. Obviously, you have CNN choose a side, MS Now choose a side, Fox News choose a side. So initially, when Newsnation first was established, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, WGN was the network. It was the rerun network. You had rerun of TV shows, and I think you might have some sports games from time to time. Owned by Nexstar Media, and it said they were going to be entering into the news, right? The news space. Start off, I believe, with showing maybe a few hours of news a day, maybe more than that, a little more than that. Then went on to having original shows. Still, at the time, it was still called WGN, but it had the names of say Newsnation's Rush, Newsnation, whatever. And so it has since then grown to be a 24-hour show. I mean, a 24-hour network. That was Monday through Fridays, and then it moved on to adding weekends to it. I love seeing growth. A good number of Newsnation's talent is coming from Fox News. Okay, you have Connell McShane. Matter of fact, let me pull it up here as I'm talking to you so I can have more proof with it. Okay, here. So I'm going to count the number of folks. So you have, get out of here. You have, I mentioned Connell McShane, Leland Vittert, another Fox voice, Laura Ingle, Blake Berman, Geraldo Rivera, Chris Stylewall, George Hill, let's see, Sean Spicer, a few other younger people in the media world, but mostly Fox News folks. Another name that I want to bring up, Katie Pavlich. So Newsnation have a prime time lineup. Okay, so prime time normally starts what? You want to say between 6 and 7? 6, they have a show called The Hill, which is kind of like their roundtable show. I enjoy it. You have, folks from both sides. You have a couple of liberals, a couple of conservatives, or one conservative, one independent, one liberal kind of thing. At 7 o'clock you have Elizabeth Vargas. All right, 8 o'clock you have Chris Cuomo, Chris Cuomo was kind of like, I would say, the team captain of the full entire network. In all honesty, being his with his popularity years in the industry. At 9 you have Leland Vittert, and then at 10 it was Ashley Banfeld, who spoke mostly on crime news. She never shared too much on just political news. It was mostly like crime news. She has since left from the primetime spot. She's still at Newsnation, but under a new role, focusing on criminal cases and things like that. So they brought in Katie Pavlich. Katie Pavlich, 37 years old, been with Fox News for about 13 years, I believe, and she was a Fox News contributor for the longest. Filled in a few times on the 5, filled in for Sean Hannity. Okay, she is a Trumper. She is unapologetically conservative. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I have respect for people that are authentic than them trying to be fake. So I respect the fact that, hey, look, she's giving to you everything on with a conservative lens. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all. My thing is with NewsNation continuing to say, hey, look, we're the channel of balance and we don't choose sides here. If you try to be so bipartisan, why the hell are you bringing in all these far, right-leaning Trump loyalists? Like, to me, when you bring on a person that is extremely biased to a candidate, not a candidate, excuse me, to an individual, to somebody in office, that defeats the purpose of your mission. That defeats your purpose of the mission right there. There's a host on the station that she hosts a weekend show called Batya, Batya, and where is it here? Yeah, Batya Ungar Sargon hosts a weekend show called Batya. Batya is a Trumper. I think she's self-described as a left-leaning MAGA, whatever the hell that is. She has her own show, weekends. Okay, gotcha. Now you bring in Katie Pavlich, Monday through Fridays, 10 p.m. and people can't be going to bed with all that Trump kissing up stuff to the end. I mean, oh my gosh, it's killing me. And she has her debates, and of course, I mean, they keep her hour conservative all day, because I remember, I think day one when it came on, she had on three guests, almost like her panel. She had 2 individuals, same viewpoints as her, and she had 1 liberal. Okay, and to me, it's just like, what makes you different? Literally, you filled in for Hannity, so now you're telling me you got somebody Hannity-esque that's now going to a channel that's supposed to be promoting balanced news, America first, bipartisan, we're balanced, we're fair, yada yada yada. Nah. And look, kudos to her. 37 years old, has her own prime time show on a cable network. I got no disrespect for that. I don't. But again, don't lie to the American people about, hey, our mission is this, and then you're not giving this that already. That's why I said, I have put out there, NewsNation is turning into a Fox News 2.0. That's the that's what's going on in the masses. They keep on bringing on so many Fox News folks. That statement will start to be more accurate. It will start to be more accurate. When the show first started, and this is how the media works. When the show first started, they continue to say, you're not gonna get this on MSNBC, you're not gonna get this on Fox News, you're not gonna get this on CNN, and we're gonna talk about this story here because you're not gonna get it anywhere else but here. That's a business strategy. Okay, that is a business strategy, because they have to encourage people why they need to vote, why they need to watch NewsNation. Now, NewsNation is always going to be struggling when it comes in the ratings, and because it's just that they're newer, they don't have probably the budgets like CNN and Fox News and MS Now has. It's going to take some time for them to really, really compete. Now, look, they've had some moments where they've garnered a lot of viewerships. Last year when they had not last year, the year before last year, when they had one of the presidential debates. They partnered with Megyn Kelly. Okay. And I think another journalist, and that picked up with a lot of great coverage for them. But let me go ahead, because another reason why I brought this up is because Katie Pavlich, in addition to Katie Pavlich, Jesse Weber is a familiar face on the American Crime Network. He's a fill-in for I know I've heard him fill-in host on SiriusXM and other publications. Real popular guy, has a huge presence digitally. Which one thing, that's another thing to kind of catch y'all up on. Cable news is, in my opinion, cable news leans a little more left, okay, or is dominated more by the left. Digital is dominated by the right. Okay, if you think of your top podcasts, a good number of them are right leaning. Okay, so let me share you guys this. So recently, Pavlich, I believe it was day 2 of her show, she had she had on Donald Trump. She did an exclusive sit down with Donald Trump. Again, she considers Donald Trump a friend. She kisses up to him, and he loves the publicity in the whole 9 yards for that. So let me go ahead and let me see if I can. I can play this for you a little bit. This was a little bit of the sit down that she had with Donald Trump. Let me see if I can that for you.
Worked with Congress very closely, Republicans in charge.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on tight, my friends. Let me get that a little louder. I did not like the volume on that. Okay. Let me see here. Let's see. All right, here we go. My apologies, y'all. That's what happens when you're live and you're short-handed. I'm trying to make sure I have this showing clear for y'all.
So looking back here at home domestically, last year you worked with Congress very closely, Republicans in charge of both the House and the Senate.
Nickel intense flu. The night.
Oh, geez, Louise, that didn't work out. Anyways, so I'll read the article to you. So that whole sit down, they were so excited that we're gonna have a primetime exclusive with Donald Trump. Sit down with Donald Trump. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so she has it, and I think I have it again. She has it, and assuming that it's gonna boost the ratings for her show, try to make her top Chris Cuomo. Obviously, that did not happen at all.
In the White House, and you worked with them on the big beautiful bill for 2026, especially in a midterm election year. What is your goal for Congress in terms of getting your agenda through? What is on the agenda? What expectations do you have for Congress?
Well, one of the things I'd like to do, we pass so many executive orders. I have great executive orders that are really common sense and good, and like water coming out of a sink. The water wouldn't come out. They had all sorts of ridiculous restrictions. I took all of that off. Coming out of the shower head, you'd stand under a shower, there's no water coming out. So I passed so many things like that. Straws, they don't have to be paper anymore. They don't have to melt in your mouth. So I passed so many different things like that, and much more important things, but like that.
Try Formula 44 from
He doesn't even know. He does not even know. He don't even know what he did. He don't even know what he did, y'all. Okay. He does not even know what he passed. That's what you hear saying. What we did was get rid of things like paper straws. You don't need to have those things melt in your mouth anymore. We like stuff like that. Okay. Water wasn't coming out the faucets. We ended that. Shower heads. We know that we passed so many great laws. So many great laws. You see that lock right there on that door? I changed the locks on that because it was getting jammed. And so I made it looser. So that was like a law I did. It was good. It was perfect. All right. Okay. I passed that. Me. Not my administration. Me. Okay. That's what it sounds like, in my opinion. But here's the funny thing. So that exclusive interview that Katie Pavlich has, that she was anticipating, it flopped. Big time. So again, the much hyped debut of former Fox News. This reported by The Independent. Pundit Katie Pavlich. Primetime show on Upstart Cable Network, Newsnation. Featured the one-on-one sit-down with Donald Trump. According to the Nelson's Media Research, that sit-down interview drew just 58,000 total viewers. 58,000. I'm pretty sure I get more listeners in that. Good Lord, Katie. And 12,000 in the coveted advertising demo of adults age 25 to 54, compared to the 2025 weekday average from the true crime oriented program hosted by Ashley Banfield, whom Pavlich replaced this month. First and foremost, I would say, Newsnation, it was an bad replacement. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dog here on Katie Pavlich, but you can't go from a veteran journalist, someone who's respected, okay, and not just true crime. She's been on almost every single network. I'm talking about Ashley Banfield. You can't replace her. And see, Newsnation lost a lot of viewers, even though Banfield didn't leave, but she's no longer, people can no longer physically see her on a TV on a regular like they used to. That lost a lot of viewership. And then to replace her with a Trump loyalist from Fox News, you might as well get Sean Hannity. You might as well get Dan Bongino. You might as well get Janine Shapiro, whatever her name is. Judge Janine. That's what you should have got. My goodness. I guess would the show get canceled eventually? Or I'm not hoping anybody gets canceled. I don't want anybody to be out of a job. No, that's not me. That's not my cup of tea. But I think if she comes with the approach of saying center right, okay. But when you're in my opinion, extreme right, and it's the right way or no way approach, no, that's not gonna be a winning strategy in my book, y'all. In my book. But what do I know? I'm just a little old, got this little show. I got my audience. But no, I ain't on no cable TV. I ain't got my own prime time show on a cable television show. Shoot. But it's interesting. It's interesting. I truly think, again, my friends, if they continue to bring on more voices like that to host a program, I don't think it will work in their favor, in my opinion. But hey, that's it. That's the kind of that. If that's what the superiors want, that's what they want. They want to turn to a Fox News 2.0. Be my guest. I ain't stopping y'all. I am not stopping y'all. Let me digress from this story, y'all, and I got another one to share before we head to a quick break. Let's see here. So check this out here. A movie director, I believe it was James Cameron. James Cameron had shared to the public that he and his family has moved out of the United States. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. And I don't think do I have it up here? Yes, I do. So yes, they have relocated the family to New Zealand during the pandemic. They said it was for their sanity. So James Cameron, the Titanic director, who's 71 years old, said it was the fulfillment of a promise he made to himself back in '94, quietly vowing that he would live there one day as his career and family life with wife Susie Cameron took root in California. All right. Says here, James noted that when the COVID-19 pandemic occurred, hold up, lost my place. My apologies. Yeah, when that occurred, it gave him the confidence to finally act due to the country's handling of this spreading virus in comparison to the United States. A quote here: I'm not there for scenery, I'm there for sanity. More than a decade after purchasing a farm in New Zealand and traveling back and forth for years to follow, when his wife and he were first, well, this is a quote. She said, when Susan and I were first getting serious, she said, fine, no problem. She was game. And she shared about the move, revealing the timeline change, and they expanded their abroad. Him and his wife shared 3 children, 23, 21, and 18. Their blended family also included his daughter Josephine, who's 32, from the past marriage to Terminator star Linda Hamilton, while Susie has a son named Jasper from a previous marriage to actor Sam Roberts. The conversation has to be amended slightly, and he's like, let's make it happen, revealing to make the move as a family in August of 2020 while he was still working on the set of Avatar. So, y'all, I've heard so many times from people that, hey, look, my plan is to live, say, here. I want to live here. That's my goal. That's just that. And I bring up the question: do you want to stay in the U.S.? These are for my listeners and viewers who watch right now. Do you want to stay in the U.S.? Because a lot of people are saying, hey, I'm trying to find a new route to get out of here. I'm not that extreme. I'm not on that level. I will always say, compared to other countries, we're still the greatest country in the world. I love my home. I love the U.S. I love living here. Yes, I do love traveling to other countries and seeing other beautiful, sightseeing stuff. But look, I'm an American. I'm like I said, I'm proud to be an American. I love this country. I get it. There's moments where you just want to say, wow, I don't know if I can handle what's going on in our world. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I say it just like when folks always say, I don't know about this city because they have crime here. They have crime. Guess what? Every city has crime. Every city has a rough area that you might not want to drive a certain time. Like every city has it, my friends. Okay. Just yes, this is there. It's there. It exists. Now, if I were you, don't try always to be around rough areas that might have a lot of, crime might happen over here. So just don't be over there. But what I'm saying, y'all, is yes, we're not a perfect country at all. But we also have the tools to vote so people won't get reelected or, vote people out. Again, there's so many wonderful things to say about the U.S., but I get it. During this time right now, we have a lot of things that people question. And it's like, maybe if I had them, I see it's easy for folks like James Cameron. These guys are billionaires, man. These guys have the funds where they could just have the option to go back and forth. For people that are just hardworking, that working paycheck to paycheck, it's hey, you have to be grateful to what you have and count the blessings that you have. But best believe in other countries don't have it good like us. All right. And then there's some countries that might have better leadership. Okay. So it's interesting. That's all I will say. It is quite interesting because when I read about this, I'm like, he's not the only one that I'm finding out that's moving out of the country or that no longer lives in the United States. I mean, it's quite interesting. My friends, let me look at the time. Okay, we're gonna take another break here. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere, and please do not change that dial.
6'10", number 1 pick, 16 seasons, college player of the year, all-rookie standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends. Look, I got on a lighter note here. It's going to be the last story for the evening here. NFL great, easily first ballot Hall of Famer, Michael Vick, NFL quarterback Michael Vick, now head coach of the Norfolk State University Spartans. Behold the green and gold. It is announced that he will be airing a reality show called Michael Vick's Next Chapter. Begins in BET's the Coach Vick Experience. That's the name. That's the title. I'm sorry, it's not Michael Vick's Next Chapter. I'm just reading this article from Essence here, but the name of the show is going to be called the Coach Vick Experience. Very original, by the way. Very like the Coach Vick Experience. Interesting. What it's doing is documenting his the transition from the NFL to a first time head coach at a HBCU. So give you a little history because I'm from the Hampton Roads area. Michael Vick is originally from Newport News, Virginia. Loves his area, loves the city, loves Hampton Roads. Still has family here. They has an aunt that's is a local elected official in the city of Newport News as well. There was an announcement that Norfolk State was going to be interviewing Michael Vick. So because there was a coaching opening. Now Michael Vick has never coached at all. I think he's might have had advisory roles with, almost like a positions coach with franchises from time to time, but nothing too serious. Before then, he was a Fox affiliate, a Fox analyst, and he was a Fox sports analyst, excuse me, and he was doing great, great up there. But again, being from Hampton Roads, there's two HBCUs that everybody knows, especially being a member of the culture, right? It's the Hampton University Pirates and it's the Norfolk State Spartans. When you were a kid growing up in Hampton Roads, you went to those football games heavenly, okay? And so even if they were doing bad, you still attended. So also I would say this because I've seen and it's public information. This show is kind of coming out a little later because the season already started. His first season was not the greatest, I will say. He ended up finishing, spoiler alert, sorry. But I mean, again, if you everybody that was there, we all know it, and we all watched, because they had like I think 2 or 3 televised games. His inaugural season as a head coach did not go as planned, right? Lesson learned, but it did not go as planned. 1-11. He won 1 game, barely won that game too. And I attended four games, I believe. I attended like 4 games. And what I would say this, and I hate to say it like this, but I think that, there were a lot of coaching mistakes. Okay. Everybody was new. He wanted to bring in his friends, his homies, and sometimes you just got to bring in the true professionals that knows coaching. There were tons of penalties. So to me says, okay, is it no discipline on the team? Penalties affected the game, in my opinion. Penalties brought back touchdowns galore. It was a bad sight to see. Now, let me read you a little bit about of this from Essence. It says here the NFL icon Michael Vick has transitioned into his next phase of life. He's ready to show the world. BET has set the premiere date for the upcoming original docuseries, The Coach Vick Experience, which will debut in February of 2026. The series follows Vick as he returns home to his home state of Virginia to take a new role, first-time head coach at Norfolk State University, HBCU. Task was reviving a football program in need of a direction. Vick steps into the job with a pressure of expectation from the university, the surrounding community, and a roster of players searching for belief and momentum. Cameras captured the learning curve in real time, from early practice to difficult conversations as the season unfolds with little margin of error. Now, I'm not gonna have too much time to read too much of this article, but another thing I want to add on was that, HBCU is slowly but surely getting the exposure they rightfully deserve, right? You already had it started with Deion Sanders, him bringing all the lights, camera, action. He brought a lot of great attention to HBCUs. You had guys like Eddie George also coaching. Ed Reed attempted to coach at HBCU. You have Michael Vick. I believe Michael Vick brought in close to $30 million to the university. Of course, more money probably to the city just because of all the exposure. I mean, you had First Take Air there at HBCU. Norfolk State and Delaware State played at Lincoln Field in Philly because you have Deshaun Jackson, the head coach over at Delaware State. I mean, it brought so much. I mean, their homecoming had the biggest attendance ever around. I think it was like 47,000 people. Now, the arena can hold 30,000. So that's, people standing around, and just it was extremely lucrative for the university, which we want to see, which we want to continue to see. But I will say this real quick before we come to a close. Vic has a lot of growing to do as a coach. He signed a 4-year contract. I hope he lasts 4 years. I hope he eventually begins to get better and better and maybe stay a little longer. I don't know. If he gets better, he might end up, going on to a bigger school for, obviously for more money. But I'm hoping that he, turns it around and just does good. Because again, brought in a lot of exposure, a lot of press and this and that and the other. It just, you don't want to hurt that momentum in his part. But I will say this real quick. Great coaches are not always great football players. Great football players are not always great. Episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to tune in weeknights on all digital streaming platforms. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.